Battlefield of Eternity, number 1 in our best of 3 series here in the lower bracket, the losers bracket of Banshee Cup qualifier number 5. Team Ash against the Space Goofs. I'm actually super happy with the loser bracket matches that we're getting because it's gonna be wild. This should be a good series, and then the winner goes up against the Raiders, which I expect to be pretty fun as well. So we'll see how this goes. But as we're heading into this, again a reminder, the teams, they get points for the overall leaderboard as they progress through the rounds in the qualifiers. And then after the 6 qualifiers, the teams that are at the top make it into the playoffs. In the playoffs, we're playing for the $2,500 of prize money, all powered by Psychiv. Kevin, huge esports fan, huge Heroes of the Storm fan, and he makes a lot of the tournaments that we have lately possible over the last couple of years. Yeah, big shout out to him. And the Banshee Cup is also a bit of a homage to his favorite hero, which is Sylvanas. And we're getting another series, which should be pretty spectacular. These two teams are always fun. I mean, always when we're talking about the Russian-Ukrainian teams, they're always fun to watch because they show a lot of aggression and they are also willing to take some crazy fights that other teams just wouldn't. So they're always out there brawling. And the Space Goofs have been... They have been fantastic ever since they signed up for their first qualifier. So it's going to be fun to see them here. They have Banana H playing here today. Dequaza obviously is on the team too. So a lot of Frenchies, but it's a really cool team. No X-Ray this time, but we'll let it slide, it's fine. And with BOE, we have already a starting map that is going to be very, very aggressive in regards to team fights that we're going to get. But yeah, let's have a bit of a look. Because right now we have our first pick, and now that you still have Hanzo up, for example. Well, not anymore. But yeah, Hanzo's up. Vala, Li Ming, Chromie, all of them up for grabs here. So they can really just dig deep on the damage pools and see what they're going to do with that. Triple front line would be kind of fun. Honestly, I haven't really seen anything along the lines of Zarya and Garrosh in a while, and I don't think this is going to be the game where we're getting it again. But it would be fun to every now and then, you know, get another glimpse of combos like this. But for now, Dequaza on Urel. They actually banned Blaze. Dequaza apparently a little bit fed up with this, and now has the top lane right there. With Genji, maybe even comboing a light bomb off. Depends on whether or not Team Ash decides that in the next ban phase they're going to get rid of Anduin. Or they could pick him for themselves. That's of course another option. You could get the Crybaby for your own team. The prioritize Muradin and Dehaka for now. Yeah, Dehaka on Battlefield of Eternity is actually kind of funny. Back in the day when we had the first tournaments coming in for Heroes of the Storm, the cool thing was that you played with Dehaka on Battlefield of Eternity because it allowed you to get level 10 around the second Immortal and then tunnel into the team fight. So that was the strategy for a while. Now all of this is obviously screwed up. This was many, many patches ago, and we've long surpassed the point where you could do that properly. So yeah, for now this is not really a thing anymore, but back then you could still make that particular kind of play. And I don't know, it's not going to be a thing in this series now, but seeing Dehaka there brings up some old memories. Uther gets banned. Are they getting rid of Anduin? That's the question. And indeed they are. So, kind of done with Genji and light bombs, so it's not going to be a combo that we're going to see this series, since you only can play a hero once within a series. So Genji from here on out is going to be out, and even if Anduin makes it through, the combo won't exist. But the blue team with a double pick on Battlefield on the left. We now have the Space Goofs, most likely with their tank. Could get their support. It's Brightwing and Chromie. So Genji, Chromie poking from a distance, Genji moving in to finish the job. Play still waiting for the tank to be picked up. But for Team Ash, we need them with the support. If they are really going full into like their stun comms, they could even add Stukov here. Muradin starting things off with the Stormbolt, maybe a lick from Dehaka, just following that up straight away with Hanzo damage, and then could be a burst damage dealer that they're picking up too. Kerosene though, really aggressive. Okay, much more aggressive support pick from Renella, and Lopaka with Cassia. So Good stuff, BOE, and with that we have our final pick as we're heading into the first game of the best of 3 series here in the losers bracket. Again, when Banshee Cup qualifier number 5, and the loser of the series will take 4th place in this tournament. So if you make it into the next round, you are at least guaranteed to be 3rd. Jojo gets played, and with that we're heading straight into our first map, Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 1, Space Goofs on the left. Play with Jonna, Chiaseka on Genji, Banana H on Brightwing. Dequaza is playing Yrel as the side laner as usual. And of course we have Yasuo last but not least with Chromie. On the right side of the map, the team in red, their opponents, Bishops with Muradin. We got Maitri on Dehaka, Murenas on Cassia, Lopaka on Hanzo, and Renella with Karazim. Stage is set for game number 1, and well, let's see which team takes the first win today. We have stacks for Cassia, so playing around the Lightning Fury immediately. Trying to stack that up, and as usual for Karazim, no surprises here, of course, Iron Fists. Honestly, Karazim doesn't have any other talent. At least not any other talent that is noteworthy. That is all that you gotta have. On level 1, we still get the Time Walker's Pursuit here for Chromie. And it's party time. Top side, already Dehaka up against Yrel, and down here, as usual, the 4-man and the 4-1 split on this 2-lane map. With Morenas trying to take this out and trying to get some stacks together. Can maybe pad that a little bit here. They are rotating in for Yrel though. So, a little bit of a cheeky rotation in an attempt to go for Dequaza, but that man is way too experienced in order to fall for anything as obvious as that. If you are trying to take Dequaza out, then you have to be a bit more aggressive. You have to really make a big move here. So, we'll see what they can do. But at the top lane, I don't think that they're going to be able to take him out all that easily. Down here, on the other hand, with Genji moving in, it could be a kill, and it is a kill on Cassia. And as Karazim falls too, the Space Goofs start game number 1 off with a double kill and a dominant performance down at the bottom of the map, which will allow them to very, very quickly start to take control here. So, camp taken. Top side, we have Yrel already working on hers. And we see on top of that Genji moving in. So even if there was a rotation of the red team, they would really have to fight this one out. Good moves for the Space Goofs to get 2 camps. Dehaka just double-checked it quickly, realized, alright, nothing I can do about it, and then falls back out. Down at the bottom of the map, obviously, they're now outnumbered for a few seconds. Nothing insane, can still play around this quite easily. Morena's still retreating here, and it is time for Karazim to dish out some damage against Genji. But he's protected. Might need some healing though. But yeah. No, it's a pretty good start for the Space Goofs. Nothing insane. Team Ash is maybe half a level behind now. The 2 kills hurt them a bit because it resulted in both camps being claimed by the blue team. But essentially, it's only a small lead. There's also not a lot of stacking going on for Cassia because there's not a lot of opportunities for her to really dish out the pain. So it makes it a bit annoying for Morenas. You really want to get those Cassia stacks up quickly if you can. But it doesn't really look like she's going to get any outside of the Immortal fights for now. So, nice moves by the Space Goofs, denying her opportunities to get those stacks together as well. Camps on both sides now timed around the objective once more, so that you have the lane pressure. And will make it difficult for your opponent to focus on the Immortal, if they don't want to lose any hit points on their structures. But maybe now Dequaza... Nah, even now they can't take him. When it comes to straight up Immortal damage, I would still give the upper hand to the red team, of course, because they have Hanzo. And that level 4 talent with the serrated arrows is just absolutely rough. So, this one's already gone. Okay, Banana H maybe a little bit alone here. I mean, I appreciate the attempted assist, but he was in real trouble. Brightwing able to move out, and this got spicy. Yasuo gets attacked too. In comes Play, starting to make his move here. Stuns are coming. Genji wants the kill. Morenas is low. And if he gets the Swift Strike back, and he missed it, but I still think they can get the kill. And yes, they can. Chromie is taking aim and is hitting it hard. Banana H also still alive as Brightwing retreats once again, but this is 3 kills to 0 now. Maybe a counter kill? Yep, finally Genji is gone. And good thing for them that they were able to take him out, because if not, then oh no. I was about to say, then Renella would have likely died. And then a moment later, Urel comes in from behind, ganks up on him together with Johanna, and the two take him down. So it is still a trade, 4 kills to 1. Halftime show victory for the blue team. It's a small margin, but it's there. And the teams are starting to chase again. But there's the Hanzo factor. The Hanzo factor, and you should never underestimate that, because that boy just slaps. And nearly wins the Immortal for the red team. But it's actually the Space Goofs that are able to grab the first one. It's a small shield, but again, it counts. Now for Morenas, and Genji gets another kill. Walks right into the Tong though, and gets also taken out. So he gets the kill, but he gets destroyed a second later. Both teams on level 7. Immortals traveling towards the top, and the rest of the blue team is making their move at the bottom of the map. They won't be able to take down a fort either way, but they can now damage both lanes. Also, temporal loop for Chromie. Maybe they can make a bit of a move at the top. Chromie, though, needs an assist. Jojo is there, so is Banana H. They're trying for Muradin. Bishops is actually running out of mana. They're gonna get a kill here. Yeah, they get the kill against Muradin. The wall is opened up. The fort has taken some damage. Urel is still pressuring the bot lane. Not too bad. And they are going for Renella. De Haka even moving towards the top to try and give his team an even fight. I don't think that the blue team is going to be too willing to stay here all that long, but with Urel now having more space and time at the bottom of the map, she can take out both towers at the wall, so the entire thing has been taken apart. That means level 10 is in reach for the Space Goofs. They are half a level away, and they have a 1 level lead over the opponent's team. So they are in a very, very good position to lock in early heroic abilities, maybe go for forts, and if not, then at least prep it all up for the next objective. Muradin, they're even taking the camp! Muradin is too slow! They take the camp away from them, let them do all the work, and then like thieves in the night, they move in, steal the camp away. Bishops is again in trouble, is able to jump towards the bottom, but this is obviously another death on his part. 7 kills to 2, level 10 in their hands. The Space Goofs, Blessed Shield is out. They want Morenas. They can't get him here. They can't get him, and play went a bit deep. Can be very happy that there was not another shot fired from that key, but it would have been the end of Jojo. But yes, they are pushing and bullying them around wherever they can and take a mad advantage. As at the top, Dequaza is still dominating the lane against Maitri, who of course cannot rely on that wall any longer. 7 kills to 2, objective is coming up. And the red team is going to be pretty confident, they're going to get level 10 in time. And they also have the position on the Immortal already, which allows Hanzo to give his team an advantage. But pretty spicy plays being made regardless, especially on the side of the blue team, as the Space Goofs are attempting to still maintain that lead that they've been holding for quite some while now. Arrow already out from Hanzo. They're looking for a kill. Chromie dodges the Stormbolt. Well, to be fair, Muradin missed it. Timeout is in, and Chromie says, and is out of the fight. So, Chromie gone. And let's see what else. Can they go for a hit here? I suppose they can. Halftime show is over. And at the bottom, they are still trying to push this a bit further. Yeah, they really want to make sure that the fort doesn't fall to the Winions. But just look how quickly the halftime show victory is in play for the red team. Hanzo again, he's just doing his thing. They were a bit late to the party this time too. 7-sided strike, fully unleashed here as they were aiming for Dequaza. But Urel still had her ult up as well. So nothing that they could do about it. In the meantime, we now have all the way towards the top. The next attack coming out. Okay, another jump. Dequaza's moving in. They're trying for Muradin. Bishop's low, and he gets wrecked. Absolutely murdered as Urel gets out of the fight. They're chasing the rest of the red team, trying for De Haka, and you can scratch the try because they take him down. And they are gonna likely get the fort at the bottom of the map. So they are getting super aggressive here now, making their moves for the first few structures. And then in addition to that, also working still on the Immortal, which I suppose Hanzo might still lock in for the team. I doubt it, but this is looking more and more like we're looking at 2 forts that will be destroyed once that the Immortal is taken. It's a little bit close though. Yaz is still firing away here. Oh no, they caught, well, at least they got Ura this time, but they caught Cassia. And Cassia is now gone. She's at 28 stacks. Definitely nothing to write home about at the 9-minute mark. But the Immortal is taken. The blue team gets another one. If they can take Hanzo out, boy, that would be the dream here. And they're going for Hanzo. He's low, but the brotherly duel between him and Genji is not ending just yet. Nobody dies. Everybody just moves back out. 10 kills to 4 overall, and a level 13 talent for the Space Goofs. They've also taken out the bot side fort, so now they're aiming for number 2 at the top. I don't see a way to deal with this from Team Ash. I don't think they can do anything here. So, yeah. Not much to be done. But then again, with that, we're starting to move straight into the team fight, because they want to go for another battle, and they want to break through the wall at the keep too. So the attacks keep coming. Bishops. Careful. Muradin still sitting there as well. Gets once again sucked in by Chromie. X-Strike. Blessed Shield. They're going for all the buttons. Turning into pirates here. Arrgh. As they kill Muradin, they break through the gate. They break through the wall. Urel gets attacked, but she still pops her ult. And the Space Goofs with an enormous amount of momentum now, as they are taking control of the map. Take 2 forts down, 11 kills, 2 for the 13 advantage. Played, of course, a big role in that last engage as well. But they're maintaining the lead in experience and really just try to stay ahead, snowball the game further and control it as best as they can. Moving now for camps and attempting to get the one down at the bottom of the map as well. So, job well done so far by the blue team. It's not over yet, and they actually have to fight for this camp at the bottom of the map. Seems like they're not willing to let that go. Talking about Team Ash here. So they're still fighting this one out. Dehaga comes in as well, but Genji and Chromie arrive in time, and Hanzo gets hammered into the ground. They are following it up with another kill. It's a double, it's a triple, baby! They go for the quad kill, and the entire team gets murdered. A 5-man team wipe as they get totally crushed. Huge team fight here. And they only had to trade Jojo for it. But yeah, absolute carnage on the mercenary camp. Everybody going down. 16 now on the board for the blue team. The Space Goofs have a level 16 talent advantage on top of that. And they're pressuring for the bottom wall. Massive, massive move by them. And a total disaster, of course, for Team Ash, who put everything on the line here in this last fight. Trying to somehow, yeah, sustain through the battle, win the fight, and then claw their way back into the game. But this is going to be tough. Against level 16 talents, it's really, really rough if you have to fight a fight like this now. We have 40,000 damage currently for Hanzo. On top of that, we have 30,000 for Chromie. The respective top damage dealers on each side. And again, oh, nice Houdini move here. Absolutely disappearing Urel before she even could use her ult. So that might be the winning move for Team Ash. This could get them back into the game. But then they lose Muradin. Budget Gimli is gone. Renella is insanely low too and gets Chromied. So he's dead. Goodbye. And they are losing more ground. Maybe if they can take Nomi out, then they have a chance there. But now they lose Morenas. Cassia is gone. And yeah, it's just a disaster. Hanzo, obviously, no chance for him to escape here either. He gets farmed as well. And that is just utter control and carnage from the blue team. They're taking basically everybody out on the side of Team Ash. Dominating game number 1 here. 20 kills to 6. Totally ridiculous now. And really putting the numbers on the board. Johanna, look at Johanna, by the way. Johanna's damage numbers are kind of bonkers. She's at 34,000. She essentially has the same damage numbers that Genji brings to the table. That's crazy. That's just straight up crazy. 34,000. That's nuts. So yeah, Jojo bringing the pain here, especially in comparison with the other damage dealers. And Team Ash is just throwing bodies at the problem now. They are throwing one body after another at the problem. They want to win a fight here. They don't want to go up against an Immortal. They're really hoping that they can somehow get a hit in and fight a 5 versus 4 after that. And it's just not happening. They're losing hero after hero. Lopaka is now in trouble down here. Might fall to... They get him! Jojo with nearly 40,000 damage is able to move in and get the kill. Big plays being made here, and it's looking more and more likely that this is also not only the end of Keep number 1, but the end of the first game. What a beautiful series here by the Space Goof. Utter domination. They take their opponents down. They're going through Team Ash like hot butter through cheese, taking one hero down after another. The Keep has fallen. The Immortal is already on the core. And there's, of course, no saving this any longer. The Haka and Muradin, they die again. 8 deaths on Muradin. My boy is going for the double digits here, as they are getting absolutely wrecked. And this is game, as the Space Goofs take the lead in the best of 3 series here in the losers bracket. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Tomb of the Spider Queen, second map in our best of 3 series, the Space Goofs on the move. We have Team Ash going down in game number 1. Not looking too good there. A little bit rolled. But let's see what the Space Goofs can pull off there. I have no idea why, but for some reason, when we were in game number 1, at some point in my head it was like Space Goofs, SpaceX, Elon Musk, Space. Is he financing the Space Goofs? Who's really behind the team? Who's pulling the strings here? But yeah, when we're talking about a Space Goof, for some reason Elon comes to mind. So yeah. But I mean, who knows? Maybe he has a Smurf account. Anyways, pick number 1 or ban number 1, Leoric gets banned out. We're currently looking obviously at... ooh, Blaze also banned. Seems like Space Goofs want to make sure that nobody plays him. Neither them nor the opponent. Battlefield of Eternity immediately warrants that you're getting more and more AoE, obviously. I mean, Jojo is already out, but she would be a really good pick here too. Can go Diablo and bully people around a little bit. And yeah, time will tell what kind of shenanigans we're getting. I would absolutely not object to some crazy picks too. I like the Sergeant Hammer ban. Hammer is kind of weird. When Hammer doesn't get banned at all for a while, then I'm like, yeah, Hammer game would actually be kind of interesting. And then she gets played 2 or 3 times and I'm totally over it. Hammer is one of the... I feel like more boring heroes, and at the same time it's cool every now and then when she gets played. I guess that's true for most heroes. But yeah. The hero that probably surprised me the most in this tournament, or in all of the qualifiers that we had so far, is Khaldor. We have seen Khaldor now played several times. It's not a regular pick or anything, but the amount of Khaldor in the Banshee Cup qualifiers compared to any other tournament before that is kind of wild. Multiple teams have taken the hero. So that was quite surprising. We get Junkrat. The red in the house. And let's see what the double pick opening is from the Space Goofs. I mean, Junkrat, Hanzo are usually 2 of the heroes that you see here a lot. Hanzo has already been played on the previous map, so he can't be played again. So he's already out, so you have to start deviating away from this a bit. There's still a lot of mages you could play. Mephisto comes to mind. You can play Kel'Thas here. So that's quite a lot. Depends a bit on the comp. And ooh, they're starting with Tyrael and with Tracer. Maybe even the Holy Trinity of Tracer plays? Are they going for Malfurion? Haven't seen that old geezer in a while. I actually think that Malfurion just straight up died. The guy is ancient. And have you ever seen him in the loading screen? Like full arthritis, like shaking with his hand. He's like, oh, am I going to make it through the game? Where's my pudding? So yeah, I think he just died. I think Malfurion is dead. Nobody has picked him in a while. He disappeared from the pick screen. It's just not there anymore. Malfurion's gone. I'm sorry, guys. He's been hugging one tree too many, and then, yeah, he just got killed. The tree dropped and just killed him. Varian and Stukov, so we get a sniper comp. Alright. All those tree huggers. Get them out there. I absolutely hate elves. I think it's because of Warcraft 3. Like, back in Warcraft 3, there was actually, like, a while when you had them play mass ancients. So they had, like, these ancients of lore, ancients of war, and all of that stuff, and it was just basically trees hitting each other for hours and hours on end. And if you're not traumatized after casting that for, like, several tournaments, then something is seriously wrong with you, and I can't help you anymore. But after that, you just hate anything that has to do with Night Elves. And as I am not being tired of saying, we all know what elf stands for, right? Entitled little fucker. And that's exactly what they are. That describes them perfectly. So it's not a name, it's an acronym. People always get that wrong. I'm telling you the truth here. The truth that the government does not want you to hear. Blizzard is hiding it from you. And so was Tolkien. Anyways, Lucio as the I'm telling you, Malfurion is dead. Malfurion died. He just died. We didn't have a funeral, we had nothing. So we don't get the typical Trinity of Tracer action with Malfurion, Tyrael, and Tracer. Instead, we're getting Lucio. And we got Kel'Thas. So Salami Boy is in the house. And the final double pick over for the red team. Team Ash, Bishops, Morenas. Give me a side laner, give me some damage, give me something here. Come on, boys, don't hesitate. Sylvanas and Chen, it is panda time. As the red team pandas to the audience. What a joke. Amazing. You gotta weave in the occasional dad joke. It's just what it is. It's mandatory. It's in my contract. Dequaza. Well, he knows what he's up against. Goes up against Chen. Leo is already gone, so can't drain him into oblivion. So, final pick for Dequaza. It is Sonya! Okay. Meh. Alright. I'm not quite sure what I expected. I expected something with a little bit more oomph. Either way, Sonya's the final pick. We go into game number 2. Space Goofs, ladies and gentlemen. Up against Team Ash. Game number 2, Space Goofs. With a match point, we have them on the left in blue. Play on Tyrael. We can play this one out with Banana H on Lucio, zipping around the map and annoying people. Chiaseka is playing Tracer. We got Yazu on Kel'Thas, and Dequaza is playing Sonya. On the right side of the map, Team Ash with Bishops on Sylvanas, Lopaka on Junkrat, Renella on Stukov, Morenas with Chen, and Maitri, last but not least, playing the front line with Varian. So, good to go, and we are all in now with Tracer rounds, with Mana Addict. I like Kel'Thas. I know. You're getting a little bit tired of me saying it, but I loved Kel'Thas ever since he was introduced. I'm not really a mage player. I actually hate mages with a passion. Every single RPG that I've ever played, I just despise mages. They're always overpowered. They're always just sitting in the back, flinging fire, frost, and lightning at you, while real men obviously pick a melee hero. I will let an archer slide every now and then, but generally you're going for melee and you're like in the thick of things, you know? You're actually taking damage, you're doing stuff. And then you just have a totally overpowered mage sitting somewhere in the back line, never getting close to any danger, and just like killing you with insanely overpowered spells. So not a really mage player, but I always liked when Kel'Thas was played because it's just fun to see him follow up on CC chains with the gravity labs, and there's a lot that he can do there. Varian is taken out, and they might still lose a hero because Dequaza, he needs a heal, he gets a shield, and he's alive! He's alive! So, Dequaza makes it. That was clutch though, that was really clutch. And now at the bottom of the map, well, we got the Panda doing his thing against the Tracer. So, it's actually kind of funny that for Tracer they delivered this Hammers skin that she has, and it's kind of fitting. Not because he's usually swift, but because she brings the pain. She brings the headache. Every single time that Tracer is in, her just zipping around here, that skin is just so absolutely fitting for her. Yeah, absolutely love it, because yeah, she brings all the nuisance of the world, that massive headache and migraine that you wanted to avoid. Whenever you're going up against a Tracer player, you get it within seconds. Now either way, we have the objective at the bottom of the map is the Siege Giants for now. Obviously the teams are working on gems as well and trying to get ready for the first turn, but it seems like we are more or less committed to this. Varian is a bit lost in the middle of the map, so this is a 4 versus 3. and the blue team can therefore easily take it. Varian is now with Taunt. I always keep making fun of Varian, and I'm saying that he's not really a hero before he is level 4 and gets Taunt. It would be amazing if at some point, you know, we had a bit of a gag minimap where you don't see Varian on the minimap until he hits level 4, and then all of a sudden you see a Varian dot appearing. Before that, it's just like just another red dot in this case that is walking around. That would be awesome. Oh, I would love that. It would be great. Anyways, 1 kills to 0. Nothing too much happening just yet, but they can now start with taunt plays, and this is what we're getting here. The Quasar kind of saved by Junkrat. Junkrat saved the Quasar here. This could have been the end of Sonya, but they were able to get him out, so could have been a lot worse for the blue team here. I think Varian is a little bit annoyed, but yeah. The Goblin right there, still getting abused by Varian. I feel like Dobby got a sock. He should have honestly handed some out for all those goblins that are still getting abused by Heroes of the Storm players and being utilized as a mount. I think that's not okay. Money pick I'm all on board with. I mean, that's just part of the food chain. But those poor goblins over there, whatever that is, give them a sock or two. I mean, free them. Freedom for the money goblin. And wow, freedom also from all burdens of life for the Quasar. Sonya goes down, and that's the first kill for Team Ash, and here comes the momentum. The boys are starting to get things done at the bottom of the map. That's the beauty of Sylvanas here. Break through that gate, break through the towers, and also gain a slightly significant lead in gems that could now be used to get a kill. And hello, team. Okay, see Lucio, kill Lucio. He's getting murdered, and they get the turn in. Yeah, Team Ash coming out swinging. Apparently a little bit mad that they lost game number 1. I know it would be 2. So they weren't too happy. They are probably still angry that they have to play this game standing because they just got such an ass kicking in game number 1 that it hurts sitting down. So they are enraged, and it really helps because that's 3 kills to 1. They take Trace out too. And maybe even Tyrael. Yep. That's a lot of gems gone, and they're losing more down here. What is this, a farming simulator? At least Banana H was able to pick the gems up, but we haven't even seen a Web Weaver wave yet, and they're going forward. You guys know this isn't League of Legends, right? You know there's an objective that you can get. Like, you don't have to kill all of this without one. We have actually stuff to do there. You don't have to just like wait for like half an hour or 40 minutes until you can really do things. No, you can go in the middle of the map, get the objective, and get things done. But yeah, they're crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. A fort down. They're level ahead, and if they now turn in, they will likely get level 10 with the push. Can you imagine the carnage? I mean, the Space Goofs are just sitting here and taking it in the face. It's kind of nuts. Kelthas is nearly done with his quest. That's the good news. The bad news is that they are still suffering, and he's just not getting enough damage out to turn it around. At least not just yet. Maybe with a few more talents we can talk about it, but this is rough. And that turn-in is coming. They're gonna get level 10 with the turn-in. Lopaka delivers the final 8 gems. Now they still hold a lot and have to make sure that they're not dying, but now we have mind control. We get big slaps from Stukov, and they're already starting things up here. Zip! Deleted! Kelthas is gone! Kelthas is gone, there's the Riptire. The Web Weavers aren't even here! And we even get the Panda Boys! Look at that! Storm, Earth, and Fire! Who needs a barrel? Morena's like, nope, we're going triple Panda. We're going triple Panda in this game. They're breaking through the middle, they're going to the top, and it is just beautiful to watch Team Ash unleash all the fire and fury that has been built up in the last game. They were saving all the good plays for game number 2. That's essentially what happened here. Game number 1, yeah, not that, but they saved all the big plays for the second game. Clearly, they just got to make sure that they got something left for game number 3 if this continues, because at that pace we are going the distance. Every single fort will be destroyed in a moment. They could rotate into the middle and take this one out as well. But since Heroic... What? Pyro? Really? Alright, we get a Pyroblast. Yeah, we got triple Pandas and a Pyroblast. Kelthas is gonna try and pyro it up a bit. It would be too funny if that was the ticket back into the game for them. They still have a lot of gems. Not quite a double turn in, but close enough. Should probably try and turn in here. The problem that they're having is that that boss is now taken. And Banana H, yes, he can turn in for the team. And then they go for the traditional trade. One team defends the Web Weavers, the other team defends the boss. And then both just walk away. But yeah, it's time for some Pyro plays, as it seems. 6 kills, 2-1. Now overall on the board. Junkrat is at least having fun. I'm not quite sure if the rest of the team is really enjoying this. I think they let the Web Weaver defend. Is still an early boss, so that's not really the biggest issue. Can they get a kill here, though? Maybe the blue team, Fire the Giants. Ooh! Sonya jumps in! Pyro! Yeah. Not enough. They tried. A for effort, but Junkrat made it out, so they couldn't get anything done here. Can they take some structures? Because they really have to. They need a bit of a win here. Level 13. The funny thing is that Team Ash is now so far ahead that they're going to lock in another talent advantage in just a moment, and most likely they will once again get their own Web Weaver wave with that talent lead. Now down at the bottom of the map, yeah, we got the defense still going strong. Fort is taking a significant amount of damage, but will likely not... Well, actually, it might fall. Nah, probably not. Nah, they're gonna be fine. There's level 13 as well, so the Space Goofs are starting to fall away. 25 stacks also for Khaldor, so that makes things a little bit easier for him. And then in addition to that, here comes the Juggernaut. And they're trying to turn in. I mean, they have 65 gems right now, so that's the second turn in for sure. Blue team, to be fair, is only 10 gems behind, considering that they had 6 heroes die, so not too bad. Turn in is happening. Damage output from Junkrat is at 25,000 right now. Sylvanas is at 23k. It's not too bad either, and goes for the Siege Giant camp at the bottom of the map as well. But here comes the next set of Web Weavers. And with that, they're going to be able to take the fort out in the middle. So, for the blue team, it is an uphill battle. There's no denying that. And they have, with level 13 talents on each side, to try and get some kills at least and a bit of momentum. Because if they don't do that, then there will be another talent advantage around 16, where the blue team would have to fall back and allow Team Ash to get another turn in, get another boss, whatever it is. So at some point you really gotta start to be aggressive, make your moves and try to bring this one back. And it's not gonna be easy. So they're gonna try. Fort in the middle, I mean, that's not gonna be a mystery what happens with that. Fort is already down, and at the bottom of the map they're hoping to open at least the walls up on those keeps. And in an ideal world you get of course a kill with a nice taunt engage from Varian, and then you take the entire thing out. The attack in the middle also, Reptile on the way. Not enough to get them a kill immediately, but maybe a chance to go for the keep. Can they take that one out? They're certainly trying, and they have opened multiple walls now. That's the spirit. Red team is starting to fight back, is starting to make a bit of a play, but they're going for Tracer, and she's insanely low and is about to fall here. Somehow survives and gets saved by Lucio, but the attack continues and they are suffering. Yep, they are definitely suffering here, and it is rough. It's a very, very rough game for them right now. They're doing whatever they can, but it is massively problematic. Now they're trying somehow to push it back, but level 16, as I just highlighted a few minutes ago, is now a reality. So how can you stop them? You try and push them back as best you can, but eventually, especially with the help of Sylvanas, this should be a win for Team Ash on that mid lane fort. Tracer gets killed, that makes matters worse. So a huge amount of momentum here for Team Ash, and they are bringing it all the way. They're coming straight in with a double kill, go for the keep, and they might not even stop here. They got the triple pandas, and they're going for core. With a level 16 talent advantage at the 12-minute mark, they're already attacking the main structure of the Space Goofs, trying to force game number 3. Death timers are low, so this might not be possible for them. Sanctification had to be used. Core has taken damage, but is still holding a bit of a shield, and they're realizing that this might not just happen yet. The death timers are just simply too low. If death timers were higher, they would win this right here, right now. But as it stands, they gotta fall back a little bit and then just doing their thing. So, maybe another kill over here. Tracer's coming in again. One keep down. Not a single fort has been destroyed on the red team side. Not one. But the blue team hasn't given up yet. They are YOLOing everything that they have against them. Specifically, Banana H needs to be careful because he's holding 47 gems at this point. That's their ticket, at least theoretically, back into the game. And I mean, that ticket is fading, and it's fading quickly. But they still have a chance. I mean, if you get that turn in, you know, get a couple of kills late in the game. You get the turn in, have level 16. Could still happen. Unlikely, but it could happen. Yeah, now the boss at the top is getting attacked. So yeah, this is the big problem. Your boss is again getting attacked, and the issue is obviously, as usual, the same. If you don't have level 16, you won't be able to do anything about it. Blue team at least got their web weavers, so that's the good news. But they can't do anything about the bot side, the top side boss. So now this time they have to at least send some heroes over to defend it, or they are sacrificing their keep, and you can't sacrifice a second keep. But it's negating the turn, it's negating those web weavers. They can easily be defended by Team Ash now. Yeah, that's one of the biggest issues. So, as is, Tyrael is again becoming the target. Taunt up in 10 seconds. Boss is, by the way, going for the top side keep, so they're actually sacrificing it. They're trying to go for the fight. Sonya jumps in, doesn't hit anything, and again, no kill with the Pyro. Sad times. Really sad times. Pyro doesn't get a kill, totally useless. They still try to... I mean, they can get out of the fight, so that's the good news. The bad news is they are losing the top side keep. Now, they have taken a fort out. I suppose that's a little bit of a win. Fort at the bot lane has now fallen. That's the first one that got destroyed. And up at the top lane, I guess this one might take enough damage. Not quite, but I mean... they're taking it out to like 30, 25% of its hit points. Boss isn't able to break through the shield yet either. It's a 2-level advantage by now for the red team, for Team Ash. I mean, they need kills. There's no way around it. You need kills at this point. This late in the game, you win a team fight, you kill a couple of heroes, yes, you can get back. Death timers are high, the experience gain that they would get is big, but they need these kills, and they are just not in a spot where they're getting them. The 2 Pyros that we've seen so far haven't really done anything for them. Jumping on Junkrat is nice when you hit him properly and can try and get that kill, but so far it hasn't worked out for them. Tyrael gets taunted again. Tracer is already going for Sylvanas. What about Khaldor? Is he getting close enough for this? Half a level until 20. It's a shit spot to be in if you're the blue team, but I mean, you gotta make a play. Gotta do something. Red team has enough gems to go for another turn in, so at least try and take a few of these forts out, force the fight. Chen always in their face. Feet first, jumping in. And Khaldor is dealing with the top. They're only 10 gems short of a turn-in. But yeah, now they're losing Banana H. And that is most likely going to be it. With the support gone, they are going to lose more than only him. Yeah, Lucio is not the last one that dies in that fight. Quasar tries to get away. He gets killed. Riptire for Khaldor. Yeah, drops him off the mound. That's the only thing that he can do here with it. Goes for the minion wave, I suppose. He's having way too much fun with this. Oh, but now they can go for core. Yeah, it seems like we're going the distance, everybody. This is going to be game number 3, isn't it? Unless we're seeing an absolute miracle or Team Ash inting like crazy, this is a 1-1 score and game 3 coming up. With Tyrael exploding, we have Tracer also in trouble. First Khaldor dies, then Tracer eats the grenade, and that is game! Good for Team Ash! They go for the core, 65,000 damage by Junkrat. We have 48,000 for Tracer at the end of this, and that's a nice victory for the red team, as they are showing that they're not just simply rolling over with an 0-2 here. So they force the third map, and we'll see which team is able to move on to the loser bracket final. Let's head straight into the final map of the series. GG. Welcome to Tomb of the Spider Garden, Tomb of the Garden Curse, sorry, a completely different objective than what we've seen just now on Tomb of the Spider Queen and Cursed Hollow. Tomb of the Garden Curse is revolutionizing the way that Heroes of the Storm objective work. Blizzard really thought deeply about this and thought, okay guys, we have to come up with something new, something unique, something that we haven't tried yet. So on this map, what you're going to do, you're going to collect tributes, seeds. And once that you have 3, you're gonna spawn web weavers. Garden terrors. A totally different mechanic than on other maps that we have in the pool. And it's gonna be totally different. It's gonna be so much better. It's gonna be awesome. And apparently everybody agreed, so they went for it. So we're going to Garden of Terror, in case you haven't figured it out yet. Falstad gets banned. So no globals apparently seems to be the goal here, with the Haka still up. So when you're talking globals, there's always a couple of pseudo globals that we have to talk about too. You have the Haka still available, you have Samuro, you have Illidan with the Hunt, and you also have... Do we count Vikings? We're counting the Vikings, I'm feeling generous today. ETC with Stage Dive would be another one. So there are options, if they really want to go down that path, if it's a battle for globals. Generally on Tomb, on Garden of Terror, it's more about getting the mercenary clear. And of course team fights still. So we'll see what the first pick is going to bring here, but the Space Goofs, they have first pick. So it's actually kind of interesting in the sense that we now have a bit of a back and forth, with game number 1 being essentially dominated by the Space Goofs, and then game number 2 going completely differently, with Team Ash dominating the way that it was played out. Final ban in the first rotation. And what do you get rid of? We should implement a rule that there are certain heroes you just can't ban. Abathar! Yeah! Slug it up! Get those slaps in, baby! The king is in the house!
Hail to the king, baby!
Oh yeah. Oh yeah! Abathar as a first pick. I like it. That's already a good start. That's a great start. Blaze and Rhaegar are taken on the other side. That's also why they banned out Falstad, so that he can't fly in and snack up the worm. That's the main reason. We get Hogger. So a little of spin to win together with the symbiote. That Hogger made it through the draft in Garden of Terror is actually bonkers. Like, really? Nobody banned him? Are you nuts? He can take every single camp by himself easily. So that's just wild to me. Ooh, Uther from Banana Age. Okay, Abathar Uther. Let's see what we're getting here. Might be some funky shenanigans going on soon. Means what does the red team ban anyway? What are they worried about now? But yeah, I like that we at least have Abathar. But there should be something, there should be a rule in place where you cannot ban certain heroes. Cho'Gall can't ban him. Vikings can't ban them. Murky can't ban him either. All the heroes that are fun, you can't ban. You can only ban what is like super popular. Eventually, we're gonna do something like it. I guess Meta Madness goes a little bit into that path. But yeah, you always have to keep the crazy picks up. Anyways, different story. With the Zeratul banned out, and Nuburak gets the axe as well. I'm still looking at Abathar here, and I'm thinking about if they are, how they are trying to counteract that. Abathar is always fun. A good Abathar is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So, we'll see. Double pick for the red team. And again, this is game 3. So we're in a best of 3 series. It is game 3. Final map. Winner moves on to the loser bracket final. And the loser of this series drops out of the tournament and takes 4th place in this qualifier. We get Garrosh, we get Greymane. Greymane and Rhaegar, especially as a duo, really good going for mercenary camps. Taking them quickly and then setting them on lane. So yeah, there's another one. But with the final pick, are we gonna get something crazy? What do they pair with Abathar outside of the heroes that they already have? If not for the Greymane pick on the red team side, I would have said go Greymane and go double Wolf. But there's still plenty of heroes up. Come on, Illidan. Illidan, Abathar, make it a thing. Arthur's and Maiev. Not too bad either. Arthur's with Abathar, even more annoying. Maiev, obviously already a huge problem in the first place. And then you put a symbiote on top of her and whew, things go crazy. No real range damage. I mean, Maiev has the biggest range here, and then of course you have the Needle Spine of Abathar. and the Spike Burst, but yeah. That leaves us with our final pick for the final map. And as we're heading into Tomb of the Garden Curse, we get Phoenix. Alright. Alright, let's go. Third map, it is Team Ash going up against the Space Goofs, everybody, the final map in the series. Game number 3, we're going the distance in the series, and on the left, Banana H with Uther, with the Quasar playing Hogger for the Space Goofs in this third game. Play with Arthurs, Yazu with Abatha, Arthurs now with Rhyme and Reason. Yeah, they're getting worse. From game to game, they're getting worse. I'm not apologizing, I totally refuse, but yeah, we got Rhyme. Rhyme, and maybe here's Reason, we're gonna find out. Chia Seka with Maef, and yeah, Maef is gonna be a beast with Abatha. Then on the right side, Renella with Rhaegar, Morenas on Greymane, Bishops on Blaze, Maitri with Garrosh, and Lopaka is playing Phoenix. So, let's get the show on the road, and which team is going to take it here. We had a very dominant performance in game number 1 from the Space Goofs, and then in game number 2 it was quite the opposite, with Team Ash apparently saving all of their great plays for the second map and crushing the opposition. So now a chance to show their skills, move on to face the Raiders in the losers bracket final. But which team is gonna go there? Down to the bottom of the map, they have Abatha, so they are going to be in a spot where they will try and make sure that they're at least slowing down some of the seeds. In an ideal world, grab one, but you have to try and... The early game is always a little bit iffy. You have to make sure that you're getting level 10 as quickly as you can, just so you have the copy on Abatha. I miss the days, by the way, where we had Monty. You guys remember Monty? Monty was awesome. Monty the Monstrosity. So, in case that you don't know, Abatha actually has a second ult. So, he doesn't only have copy, there is... Yeah, you know, it's true. He has a second ult, it's called Monstrosity. And there was a time when Monstrosities were actually pretty awesome, and you would just use them and play macro against the opponents. A long time ago, but that was a thing. And Monty was awesome. Monty the Monstrosity... has a killer reputation, and Abatha was quite fun with it, but we haven't seen Monty in a long time. Maybe he died too. Alfurion has apparently gone the way of the dodo bird, as we discovered earlier, and the same could be true for Monty. Now, either way, with Abatha, of course, going for copy here. Oh, that's a kill. That's Rhaegar gone. Yep, with Abatha. Oh, that's 2. Rhaegar and Garrosh. Double kill. They're off to a really good start. The Abatha composition gets 2 kills, and they're also getting value down at the bottom of the map, as it seems. The Quasar gets a bit of an assist from the slug, and all of a sudden that gate is under pressure. So, good stuff. Top side, that's where we are now. Jesus, they're breaking through this thing completely. They are crushing it. So, total, I want to say disaster, because that's not really what we're looking for here, but they are breaking through structures. They are getting some momentum down at the bottom of the map, and this is the team that is playing with Abatha. That's technically still down 1 hit point behind these team fights. Arthurs is still suffering from a lack of mobility, and this is what Garrosh is trying to exploit here. They are still keeping everybody alive though, so Play, Banana H and Shiaseka all make it out of the battle. Good for them. And it's not a great start for Team Ash. At least right now at the beginning of the game, they are suffering a bit. Slightly behind experience, but it's also just the fact that against an Abatha composition... Ah, Pyjama Joe. I like it. Good move, Yasu. Good one. Good one. Approve. Thumbs up for me. Yeah, the fact of the matter just is simply that this is a fantastic start for the team in blue, because as I mentioned earlier, you really want to get the game to a point where you have your level 10 ability so that the additional hit point bar is in play for your team, but they're already doing really well. We have a Death Coil build for Arthurs, so a little bit of nuke and extra sustainability that he gets through that. And things are looking quite nice for them. Obviously, they can, in this case, not quite go for the seed yet, but they will try later on. Position of the seed was also not really too nice for them. Abatha now has Mule. They get the early level 7. It's not a massive lead, but still, it's there, and it counts. Arthurs will still be fine. And down at the bottom of the map, more pressure against Phoenix and against Blaze. So they're going to be happy with the opening into this game. But let's see how much more they can do as things progress. We have, by the way, Icebound Fortitude on level 7. Mule, as usually agreed upon. And this time, the seed spawn is much more beneficial for the Space Goofs. So they are going to try and make a move for this one for sure. And they have actually increased the gap in experience by quite a bit. That's the nice thing of having Abathur. That obviously gives you some global soak as well. And in this case, assisting Dequaza allows them to take the entire wall down. So there's just a lot of macro pressure against Team Ash, and they are giving up the seeds, so they can't force anything too crazy. The worst case scenario that they can always run into is that your opponent gets 2 seeds, and then the Abathur team has to fight for the 3rd one, even though there is no copy yet, no level 10. Being forced in a fight like this always is super uncomfortable. In this case, they don't have to worry about it. 2 kills to 0 still. So not a single kill for Team Ash just yet. That will change 100%. They're always aggressive, they're always looking for kills. Even if they would get destroyed in a series, I'm sure that they're going to pick up at least one. Talking about picking up some kills, Maitri needs to pick up a few things. He's also looking maybe for a flip here. Play still fine. And they're actually walking them down hard. They're going heavily into the Frozen Tempest here. And specifically Garrosh is struggling with that a bit. Slowed down, eating all of the damage in the process. But they're retreating. Both teams on level 9 now. The added seed that we have in the middle to be fought over could be delayed. Maybe even enough to get themselves to level 10. I mean, who knows? But of course, in addition to that, there's also camps up on the map that you have to get, and that's what both of them are doing. Maiev on the left, Phoenix on the right, the Slug is at the top. Could also move out onto the map a bit further in order to get some body soak going, because there is no global that could move up to take him down and punish him for it. If you had Falset or Dehaka on the other team, that would be a different story. But as is, there's level 10, and we get Decimate. And they get the channel. There's no interrupt happening, but of course now both teams with heroic abilities. There's the copy, Arthur's with Yami. Get the disc and also Divine Shield. And another lock against Maitri. They even have to throw out Ancestral. Disc is cutting in though, but still, they are trying. I mean, Arthas is really walking them down. Against Greymane, he was always a nice tool, but now they get an easy double kill here. Greymane is gone, and so is Rhaegar. So, job well done. 2 more kills. Maybe they can at least take Maiev down, and indeed they can. But it's still a bad trade for them, and they might also lose Garrosh. They are definitely losing Phoenix, who got sniped by Abathur here. So it's 5 kills against 1, and it's getting spicy here. Space Scoops with some big plays. I mean, right here, you see Arthur's moving in and just doing work, slowing everybody down, and Greymane is reliant heavily on his auto attacks too, which means that Arthur's can work very well against him. And it's just like the lack of mobility in some of these situations to get away from an opponent. That is a problem. As long as Arthur's dominates fights like this, it's great. Becomes an issue when they're falling behind and Arthur's needs to disengage, because he pretty much sucks at that. Now, after those fights, talking damage, we have 17,000 right now for Hogger, top damage dealer for the team, and Abathur with 14k sitting just behind them. Whereas for the opposition, it is Phoenix on the blue team side together with Greymane that is bringing the numbers, both of them sitting at 13,000 now. And the only one that hasn't died for the team yet is actually Blaze. It's a bit weird to me that they just gave that seed up. So they gave the seed up, don't even fight for it properly. That means Garden Terrors for Team Ash, and this is the first big win that they have in this game. Now we'll see how good the defense is going to be in order to prevent those forts from falling, but the red team is fully committed to the top. They have Blaze still rotating between the lanes, but up here they really want to wreak havoc. There's also a mercenary camp that they still have, but they're getting pushed past it, and we see the same situation unfold in front of us that we experienced earlier. There comes Arthas going in deep. Even the copy of Abathur was there, so they go double Arthas to slow them down. Hogger in the middle, Abathur still down at the bottom. With Blaze rotating over, it's a 5 versus 3, and they get the kill against Maiev. They definitely missed Hogger here, but he's busy in the middle of the map taking the Web Weavers out, which he's been able to do. So super interesting situation now, because at least initially it was all the Space Goofs. It was all the Goofs, but now they're losing hero after hero. Divine Shield had to be thrown out to save Arthas, and he might still not live. Play gets attacked again. There's the Shockwave. They attempt to turn it. Can they? They're still down a hero. Maiev isn't here yet. She's on her way, but she's not in the fight, and it means Arthas falls. So Arthas destroyed. Bad news for the blue team. They've lost the fort at the top. The one in the middle gets muled up. Down at the bottom of the map, they still push this out, and Hoggar was also able to completely safeguard the fort here. But all of those initial advantages that were accumulated by the blue team are now kind of gone. Still have a lead in kills, I suppose, but nothing that really translates into an actual advantage yet. So we'll see how this progresses. We got now the biting cold over here, and we also got Soma transference, so a little bit more heals. Makes it really difficult to take specifically Arthur's out. If he gets healed while he's in the fight, I mean, the same is true for my F, I guess. When he's in the fight and then you're just getting these spike bursts and they're also healing whoever is just right in the battle, that's always a big win. But they're even invading camps now, at least they're trying to. Team Ash has their confidence back. That's essentially what's going on here. Team Ash has their confidence back fully, and they are using it to try and get kills. Copy is already off. There's the army, and Maiev is finally saying hello. Was about time. Maiev says hi. There's the Ancestral. Rhaegar might die. Renella threw out his Ancestral to save Greymane, and he himself is dead. Might try. He's also not going to make it from the looks of it. So Space Goofs are bringing it back with a double kill against their opponents, and they were also able to take the camp, so they didn't lose anything here. Neither lost the camp, nor did they lose the heroes. And now, with the seed up, this is going to be the second one for them. Can interrupt this a bit and delay it further, but they have a lead in experience now, so level 16 should be a bit faster for them. So not too shabby. And thanks to the camp that they got, plus the heroes at the bottom of the map, they are also working on the first fort. And this will be taken out. So they're going to be able to take the fort apart, draw even in structures with the opponent's team, and with 2 seeds to 0, they are going to be the ones much closer to next level. Interestingly enough, an adrenaline boost now too. That is making up for a lot. Arthur's with an adrenaline boost now. Yeah, there it is. So he gets it, gets that shield, and he is now in such a great spot. Can slow people down, can body block them a little bit. Divine shield used by Uther as he saw the jet propulsion come in. So they're saving the day for the blue team, and that bot lane is still getting pressured out. They need to send somebody down there, which is what they're currently doing. But yeah, they got to be careful or they're going to lose more on the map. 16 versus 16. Arthas has actually not made a choice yet. They're still waiting, and so is Garrosh. Now, while they are still figuring things out here, we got 28,000 for Greymane. Top damage in the game, 26,000 for Hoggar. Yeah, and the seed is obviously going to spawn soon TM. They're trying to go for Dequaza. Couldn't get him. And in the meantime, here's the remorseless Winter. So you have an additional route, more teamfight control. Yasuo is going for the copy. We have double Hoggar. As if one of them didn't smell bad enough already. Now they're going for a double. That's a good strategy. If your opponent has to use one hand to keep their nose closed, then they have less hands to play the game. So, one down, maybe more. And the objective has already been claimed. Boy, this is going to be horrendous for the red team. If they're losing more heroes now and have a much harder time to defend against Garden Terrors that are already straight in their face in the middle in the bot lane, and it's going to be another disaster. Look at Lopaka here. If he can't warp away, he's just going to be toast. And they're really struggling. That, on the other hand, no, he died. He died before the salvo made it. He could have gotten maybe even 2 kills. That would have been a game changer in that situation. What we're seeing instead is the fort in the middle about to be dropped. Bishops dies on Blaze. Down at the bottom map, they're already breaking through the keep wall. Oh, that is rough. It wasn't looking too bad for Team Ash. That fight changed everything, though. I think they lost 4 heroes in total here. Did they lose the entire team? I think Greymane survived, but this is just rough. They lose every single fort that they have. They're losing all the walls on the keeps. The bot lane is in trouble and might fall. I mean, it's so close to falling that I think the Winions alone are taking it apart, and yes, they do. And this is not even where it stops. I mean, just look at the middle of the map. Another keep is already down to 50% of its HP. Top side, same thing is more or less happening. This one is also going to take some damage. And the Space Goofs must feel fantastic now, because they are in the driver's seat. They are the ones calling the shots on the map and will likely move on to the losers bracket final if they can finish it. 40,000 damage for Hoggar. Dequaza just beasting it up on the side lane once again. You want to get all the camps right now. Specifically bot lane pressure is so nice. 14 minutes in. Catapults are not that great yet. But we're getting to a point where they can start to hurt your core. And of course, you look at the experience. Ooh, Yazoo! Ah, okay, Avatar copy. For a second, I thought it was the real Hogger, and I was just getting real scared. I was like, whoa. But no, it's just a copy. They're getting really close to level 20. Storm talents are going to be available in a moment or two. So this is going to be huge for them. Level 20 coming in, soon TM. And then, in the meantime, down here at the bottom of the map, the attack still coming. So, pushes in, top side, Maiev is moving back out, and in the middle of the map, the pressure is still being kept up. With level 20 talents, they can do that. Hive Mind is now ready. And, yeah, good luck stopping that, because that's an entire level that you gotta bridge. There's no threat of another set of Garden Terrors. I guess that's the good news here for the red team. There's still plenty of time. And look at Arthas, he actually goes all the way with the Death Advance as well. Even more movement speed. And even more so. That's kind of nuts. That's pretty bonkers. Arthas is just this utility bunker in the middle of the fight. So as long as he is having control of Greymane, the dog isn't doing anything in these fights. So yeah, Arthur's right in the thick of things. He gets the assist from Abathar time and time again, and nobody is getting away from them because of it. There's the root on the ground on Renella, and he dies because of it. Arthur's gets out, and they're rooting also Blaze into the ground here. Arthur's is giving them mad value in this situation. So the support is already gone. Maiev is dead. Maiev is dead, didn't get a heal in time, the damage over time took her out, and they're taking Hoggar too. Okay, all of a sudden, Team Ash fighting back here, making some sweet moves, but they gotta move a little bit quicker, because at the top they might lose some more hit points now also on their keep. And indeed they are. Not a lot, because Greymane is taking over, but this thing is down to 50% HP. There's even catapults on the core that eventually they will have to deal with, if the next minion wave doesn't take that. But with Arthas being killed and the red team gaining some momentum, we might be in for a comeback here. Yeah, Team Ash is fighting to make that a reality. Banana H is dead, but he has redemption and will respawn. Has redemption and is gonna be fine. And up at the top, yeah, Greymane has defended. So looking at the base, we now have one keep, both keeps, on less than 50 HP. The seed goes to Team Ash as well, but it is their first seed. They got one set of Garden Terrors early on today too. But still, interesting development here. Even with level 20 advantage, the blue team couldn't win the fight. Even after they took out Rhaegar. So, Rhaegar now with the double Ancestral, going for Farseer's Blessing, of course. But this is definitely starting to change things just a tiny bit. 12-7 on the kill count. Abathar, as usual, the only one that hasn't died yet in the game. Yeah, Mule's thing is up. They're massively ahead in structures, of course. Massively. But, let's see. Look at, by the way, the experience gap between them. 3,000 extra XP through passive gains, but they make more than up for it in the minion experience. That is where Team Ash was just way better throughout the entire game. Alright, there's the shockwave. They try for another kill. Whole 5-man is there. Teamfight comes in. Divine Shield on Hoggar. Gets... Oh, there's the Ancestral. And the second heal comes in. Nice. The entire team nearly topped off to full health. So now a move for the fort. They're trying to bring this back, but of course Abathar still has Mule. Always a problem. Up at the top, another wave that they gotta deal with. And you can really tell that now with level 20 in their hands, Team Ash is more of a force to be reckoned with. They're making this much, much harder for the opponent's team in those team fights. Yasuo again with the copy, just scouting things out a bit. The big asset for the Space Goofs is the bot lane. That's the big asset. Because there you have catapults with every single wave. You can go for a couple of the camps. So Dequaza could try and go for this one as well, but he has to help the rest of the team out towards the top. Mule is getting dropped into the middle again to save the fort. But there's the next seed, and Team Ash is taking more and more control of this game. Again, they've lost the keep already. They are really struggling to keep the other two keeps alive. But talking about keeping things alive, Hoggar is out. Guys, what's going on here? Team Ash is starting to bring this back fully. Might try, alive for now. Might need a heal. And he gets one. What? He gets a heal and Maiev and Arthas both die. They had so much time here to take Garrosh out. It was an auto attack that they were missing, not more than that. But then nobody went for it, and he gets a heal from Rhaegar before they can take it. Team Ashe with all of the momentum in the world as they are bringing the pain, and they move towards the top. The lanes are all pushing against the red team, but they get the keep destroyed. They go for the keep, and they try to go for more. Ah, God, I love it. These guys always making the plays here. Uther will be back. I'm not sure if they can take the core down though. Uther will be back. Abathar is still there. And keep in mind, if you don't take the core now, Abathar is going to simply mule it up. So they have to finish it. They're all low, but they kill Uther again, and this just has to be it. They're going for victory. Team Ashe, ladies and gentlemen. What a comeback. What a comeback. Crazy performance, and they move on to the losers bracket final. GG. That was pretty sexy. That was very